Hey everyone,
Anyway,
welcome to the Hume podcast, Roles and Lols. For those of you who don't know Hume we're a recruitment training business based in Australia, and to date we have trained thousands of recruiters across Oz, New Zealand, and a bit of Europe.
this is going to be a 10-minute quick tips and tricks with hopefully some laughs along the way for agency recruiters.
Yeah, hopefully you enjoy, and if you ever have any topics you'd like us to cover in the poddy, please shout out. Otherwise, you'll see us every week on a Friday for 10-minute episodes. Hopefully you enjoy.
See ya.
Okay, welcome back to this week's poddy. Hopefully it's a really poignant one.
Hopefully. And hopefully I'm looking a lot browner. Some would say sun-kissed.
From 2 weeks, no, not 2 weeks, a week in Sri Lanka.
10 days, yeah. And the sun and the surf.
You
Chill life for me.
lovely duck.
I'm a new person.
Alrighty,
Alrighty.
so this week we wanted to go through key activities during slow periods.
Yeah.
I think we've all seen, well, we've personally seen quite a lot of people going through a bit of a lull at the moment. We're coming up towards the end of financial year, things being put on hold, la di da di da di da.
Yeah. And for people that have been in recruitment, speaking, I guess, for ourselves, myself, I should say, this is like normal kind of thing. And I think we all know that things will move and change all the time. And while I think we need to be consistent with our activity, there's definitely things that we can ramp up and adapt when the market changes.
Yeah. I would say, shall we just do quick fire? What would you focus on? I
Yeah, let's do it.
personally, I would start with something that gets left behind when billings drop off. One thing that no one really does or puts a huge focus and emphasis on, honestly, is candidates. Billings stop, jobs stop coming in, recruiters stop focusing on candidates and cultivating a good talent pool.
Mm,
What that then leads to is when things do pick back up, they're starting again and they're much slower at responding to a volume of work. So
yeah.
they drop the ball on the candidates, and honestly, candidates are your best source of business development.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd
Agree.
say there needs to absolutely be a strong focus on the candidate side and continuing building your talent pools, because without it, you're completely dead in the water. You can have as many jobs as you want, but if you're then starting from scratch with filling those jobs because you don't have a talent pool, then it will take you much longer. Speed to fill will be really low, meaning your chances of filling that role are really low because most recruiters will be working up against other agencies, so
Mm,
it all falls over.
it's a good one. Mine would be, and we've said it before, and I'll say it again, service reviews with your clients. Great
Mm,
time of year, end of financial year. It's a good reason to get in front of people. We frequently, as consultants, we go and meet people when there's jobs on, which we should be doing, but that's not the only reason why we should be doing it. To really kind of nuance and make slight little changes with how we are providing our services and how we're pitching our services, how we're evolving our services,
mm,
should all be done in person, especially when there's no jobs on. We should be in
mm.
front of them doing service reviews.
100%. If you've not met your client, if you've not done a service review with every single one of your existing clients, absolutely this is the time to be doing it to ascertain what's happening in their businesses, taking feedback, making sure that relationship is solidified, ready for when they are hiring again. It's all these things that we've now got time to do when there's a bit of a lull, if that's what you're facing. The other thing I would say is when we do see a drop in work, this is the best time to ramp up your marketing efforts. And I say this from experience when, and as an example, when COVID first sort of rocked around, the day before it got announced that we were going into lockdown, I had around 17 retained roles on. Every single one got put on hold, literally no more jobs there. So for the next 6 months, it stayed very quiet. And my focus at that time was, well, fuck, I could sit here moaning about there's no one hiring, recruiters etc., etc. Or I can focus on foundational things that I didn't have time to do that I know will pay off down the track. And so we just put all of our energy efforts into let's build our brand because we know when the market's tough, a lot of people will drop the ball on branding because they see it as a non-revenue generating activity, so they won't do it. And if you're the one doing it, this is where you will get a huge return when the market picks back up. But it takes a lot for someone to do branding and marketing, knowing that it won't turn around immediately. That's why most people don't do it. So providing value, I mean, we say that again and again, you should be doing that consistently, but certainly during a slower period, how can you add value to your networks when there's nothing in it for you right now? Because it will pay off down the track. So
Hmm.
I would be spending time on marketing, branding, and working out how you're going to be adding value to your networks because it will honestly pay off as soon as the market shifts for you.
100%. And creating that habit, I think, because
Mm,
even when things are humming, you do need to be doing it consistently, but
mm,
most people aren't. So ramp it up now. You've
mm,
got so much more time and you're still going to get wins from it straight away, but ramp it up now.
mm.
My next one would be get your house in order. And by house, I mean database.
Yes.
Yes. And we have all been flying for the last couple of years and guarantee, dare I say, every single agency will have data everywhere. It's not coded,
Mm,
it's not in folders, things aren't closed off. There's data points, contact details all outdated. Clean it up, like get it sorted.
mm,
Because when what's the saying? It's like if you've got like a messy life, then
mm.
it's messy kind of
Yeah,
outcomes. Like sort clean it up,
yeah,
get it sorted now. So you're good,
absolutely.
yeah, good to
And
go.
processes in general, right? Now you've got a bit of time to just work out your sales processes. How do you get clients on? Do a bit of reflecting, plan out what your sales techniques are. You've got a little bit more time now. But aside from that, everyone, I know what people will be thinking close listening to this is that's all well and good, but I need to make money right now. So yes, whilst you're doing all of that stuff, you also do need to go after the low-hanging fruit. And what we've
Yeah.
suggested just prior to this is all going to generate or should generate some low-hanging fruit, i.e. you meet with 20 of your existing client base, you do service reviews, you work out there might be a need there that they otherwise wouldn't have told you about. That's low-hanging fruit that they might tell you about if you're doing
Mhm.
service reviews. Your branding marketing efforts that should bring in enough leads for you to generate enough conversations that will get you some billings through the door. But all of these things aren't one or the other. They do generate your low hanging fruit if you've got your eyes open. And honestly, everything you do is business development. So if you're speaking to a candidate, that's business development. You find out where they've been applying to, what's happening in their current businesses. That's all BD activity. It will
Mm.
generate low hanging fruit. You just need to be aware of it and constantly thinking about your business development efforts because it's all network building. So
Yeah.
all of these activities, they're not just admin tasks because now you've got a bit of time because you're not working on jobs. They all should generate you revenue. And if they're not, you're not doing it right.
100%. Following on, I think from that is what I do all the time, and we've done a full course on this, but reverse market. It's your
Mm,
easiest way to get low-hanging fruit and
mm,
build a very long-term relationship. To me, that is the only way I would recruit now. But reverse marketing, finding your sweet spot, those roles that you know are still in demand and they will still fit in that kind of industry that you specialize in.
mm,
But those roles are going to change all the time, and there will be roles within your space that are low hanging fruit or roles that are still needed to be
mm,
filled. So do some research, find that space and focus on
mm.
that.
That's such a good one. Honestly, the amount of times people go, my market's completely dead. And whilst part of that is true for certain sectors, where we go, oh my God, my whole market's dead, no one's hiring the roles that I used to recruit in, it's like there is always a role type that is going to be in demand in every single sector. It's
Mm-hmm.
up to you, like you said, to find out what that role is that's always needed, even in sort of in a market that's contracting, there will always still be a role type. It might be a sales leader because everyone needs more sales in every business. It usually is sales type focused roles that are hard to fill. Those roles are the roles that you then go after from a reverse
Hmm.
market perspective. Like work out what that role type is and reverse market that one, not the generic roles that no one's hiring.
Yeah. And there'll be roles as well that are, maybe usually you do kind of junior to intermediate based roles. And now they need more experience and they need that kind of leadership or that board level. Go, you can still stay in your industry, but understand where those little gaps are and what you're seeing in the market and go for it.
Mm.
Focus on it.
I mean, ultimately, everyone that's listening, guys, we get that it's hard in some cases right now in certain sectors, but honestly, this is always going to happen in recruitment. It's never completely stable, it will never happen. It's the reason why, as recruiters, we can charge the fees that we do because it's not easy. If it was easy, everyone would do it. Our job as good recruiters that wants to stay consistent is we need to ride these waves and change the activity that we're doing based on what's happening in the market and being able to adapt and adjust. And importantly, as well, guys, if you have an area that you need development on, it is up to you to develop. If you're not great at sales, go source some training. There's a lot of free stuff online, but it's up
Hmm.
to you to develop those skills and continuously develop them. In the last year alone, we've seen so many changes in recruitment that if you're not keeping up to date, it will be harder. So it's up to you from that L&D perspective to go out and source that development for yourself if your business isn't bringing that to you.
Mm. Yeah, I think no matter what the market's doing, there is an expectation that you're doing the bare minimum. And the bare minimum when things are flying is probably not good enough. You should be doing a lot more in markets that are low. If you're, meeting your targets just and it's a struggle to get there, you're doing a lot better than most people. So I also think there's like a mindset piece that it's
Mm,
okay that you're not fucking flying like you were a year ago. It's
mm,
okay. I'm
mm,
not, you're not, no one is. People that have been in recruitment for
mm,
20 years are not flying right now. And that's okay because
mm,
we adjust, we refocus our efforts, and we will be flying again. We know we will. And this
yeah.
is resilience and this is being patient and being mindful of your activities and being
Mm.
intentional with what you're focusing on.
Oh, that's a nice way to wrap things up. Being intentional, it is a mindset thing as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, team. Thank you for listening. We will speak to you next week. If you need a little boost up, give us a buzz.
We've got it all. We've been through it all. We'll go through it again.
Battle scars.
All right. See
Okay,
you.
see
See you
ya.
next time.